And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. It is bright, it's beautiful, it's sunny out there. Bitcoin's breaking out. And I'm going to bring our attention right here to why we have been bullishly biased here for a move to the top side of the Gaussian channel at 31,863, which is slowly coming down. But that would be the initial target as we've closed above the mean band, and looks like continuation. And I wanted to point out something. The dollar is bouncing right now, and Bitcoin is bouncing alongside with it. So bit of an inverse correlation from what we've seen in the past. NASDAQ down 44 looks slightly bullish here, and S&P is just trudging the road to happy destiny up to our target here off at 42.29. Dow Jones is putting in a massive higher low with some hidden bullish divergence. I would beg to say 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. And that could be, coming back from this high right here, you can see, this low right here, you can see just a bit of hidden bullish divergence. So that is a bit hidden. As you can see, we do have lower lows here, but this is a lower low in correlation with a higher low on the RSI, showing us that the strength of the move is getting a bit of continuation. So not bad there. And what do we have here on tether dominance? We've been talking about this line of peace and prosperity and death and despair for the altcoins here. And any kind of a closure below this pivot is where we likely see the next altcoin rally come to fruition. I'm going to check in on Bitcoin dominance skyrocketing to the moon as Bitcoin is playing out a nice little move above 29,000 today. Well, we're at 29.5 right now on CMEs, and trudging his road to happy destiny to the upside of the target there. Let's just see where the Gaussian channel comes in on the weekly time frame for CMEs, the professional exchange for traders that like to trade. And the upside is 31,665. And I do suspect that's why I have the VPR in here. Well, on CMEs, it looks a bit different, as if we close above 30,800, very likely pointing to a gap fill. What do you know? What do those gaps like to do? They like to get filled. Gap on CME is coming in right here at, call it 35,000, which I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin wants to stretch its legs out and head up to that $35,000 mark. The big question is, are we going to get a recession, and what's the economic data going to say this week? Well, Wednesday the 12th, we're going to have the U.S. Consumer Price Index and the FOMC minutes, which right now we are pricing in a 72% chance of a 25 basis point rate hike coming in March 3rd. We are 22 days away from the next rate hike. Crypto bubbles showing CFX up 12%. I guess that short didn't work out too long. And stacks up 6% today. Some of the winners, I'm going to check in on CFX, which definitely giving a little party to the upside here today, as we were suspecting a little bit more of a downside move. And I do want to point out this. On the 4-hour time frame a few days ago, we pointed out the hidden bullish divergence, which we said as long as Bitcoin does not violate this region over here on a 4-hour closing basis, that that bullish divergence would get confirmed. So that was the line in the sand. We never came back and closed below this prior low, giving us 1, 2, 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence. I know the target was at 28,553. Looks like we've got a little bit more than that. So are we going to swipe up here and get one more test down? You can see the volume profile. If we do close anywhere here or higher, I would suspect the rally continues to the upside in the face of the dollar, even with the dollar bouncing up today, which I do believe the dollar is going to head down here now. And maybe Bitcoin picks up some of that benefit as the dollar comes back down a little bit. Overall, we did say the dollar was likely to bounce from this lower region. Didn't quite get to our target, but close enough is close enough. And I do suspect the dollar does take a leg up to 103. Probably going to sell off this 21 the first pass. But overall, dollar is in some bouncy territory here. You can see low volatility and hidden bullish divergence once again. Coming back from this pivot right here as price is making lower lows, RSI is making higher lows, and we're getting out of the bearish control zone. Let's check in on Mr. Gold. How are the golds doing here this morning? We did say very likely a pullback off of the $2,000 target, which we apparently hit $2,029, and on the daily, putting in a good sell and probably looking for a move down to at least 1917 on gold before she trudges a little bit higher. Silver at 24.79 and still looking fairly bullish. A tick below here at 24.57 very likely begets some continuation to the downside. And remember, silver follows gold with more gains. Our next overall target is 26.61 on silver. And what else do I want to bring up here? Stacks is putting in a perfect buy, as we mentioned, off of this green 55 last week. Stokes are crossing up, volatility is low, and I would expect us to at least get a rally up to the 0.5 at $1. So that would be the minimum target. If we are going to entertain a bull trap, it's going to come in somewhere in this region. But that is yet to be seen so far. And I guess wrapping it up on Bitcoin again on the 4-hour time frame, we did say we front run the signal. We front ran the signal here, I believe, when yes, off of this signal, we were expecting a slight move up to 25.5. As we had the 3 drives of hidden bullish divergence, 1, 2, 3, getting us a shot to the top side of the range. Now, if we do, look at this massive volume coming in on Bitcoin. Apparently, people are worried about FedNow coin, which I did see this here today. I wanted to play this short clip.
That, maybe more swift action on a digital currency for the Fed, would that have a calming effect on the variety and the number of cryptocurrencies and stable coins that we see coming out? Wouldn't that be a more viable and reliable alternative than having all of these hundreds and perhaps 1,000 different cryptocurrencies emerging?
I think that may be the case, and I think that's one of the arguments that are offered in favor of a digital currency. That particularly you wouldn't need stable coins, you wouldn't need cryptocurrencies if you had a digital U.S. currency. I think that's one of the stronger arguments in its favor.
Do you think that maybe more swift action on a digital currency for the Fed, would that have a calming effect on the variety and the number of cryptocurrencies and stable coins that we see coming out? Wouldn't that be a more viable and reliable alternative than...
So in a sense, Powell responded, you wouldn't need stable coins or cryptocurrencies if you had a digital U.S. currency. Now, FedNow comes out in July. Be prepared. Own your gold, own your silver, and own your crypto. I think that is it out of me today. It looks like resolution of the range to the upside. Now, we are, an hour and 27 minutes from the 4 hour, 5 hours and 27 minutes from the daily closure, which we did denote. Any kind of a closure above here is going to be resolution of the range to the upside. So after, playing out some bearish divergence, we're getting back in the bullish control zone, low volatility, and on the daily time frame, that does beget a 20% move. Now, how do we define expansion above 25%? So all you want to do is see the BBWP regain the exponential and lift off, something like that. And that would beget the 20% move we've been talking about, which is roughly going to bring Bitcoin all the way up to where we're all the way up to 33,000, which is right in line with that Gaussian channel. All right, that's it for today. Now, do be aware, if we do come back and close below here and we, 26,500, that is not going to look good overall. And I do suspect at some point we do tag this green 55, which is going to be slowly climbing its way back up to that 26.3 region. But as for now, we're looking at continuation. Volume is just slowly and steadily increasing. So we'll see what happens today when the range is resolved. And I'll leave you with that. Have a blessed day and take care.